Our top story today on thegatewaypundit.com, breaking: Judge Juan Merchan adjourns President Trump's November 26 sentencing date. We're covering this story and so much more here on the Gateway Pundit's Week in Review. My name is Elijah Schaffer, and this is the Week in Review, where we cover the top 5 stories of the last 24 hours. Our top story today, Jim Hoff reports that Judge Juan Merchan adjourns President Trump's upcoming hearing. Check this out. Crooked Judge Juan Merchan again on Tuesday suspended any decision on the Trump lawfare case in Manhattan. Merchan adjourned the case today. He will make a decision where this lawfare case heads next. This is breaking via Laura Loomer. Breaking: Judge Merchan, the crooked judge overseeing President Trump's hush money trial in New York City, has just adjourned President Trump's November 26 sentencing date. You had elected to receive a reminder about the appearance 7 days in advance for the following court appearance: New York Supreme Court Criminal Court, defendant Donald Trump. Appearance date 26, it's adjourned. Now, in no shock here, earlier this month, Judge Juan Merchan paused his ruling in President Trump's New York lawfare case based on his election victory. Merchan paused the deadlines for President Trump's sentencing date scheduled for later this month. Bill Hemmer at Fox News reported. The judge has delayed a ruling on whether or not to dismiss President-elect Donald Trump's criminal conviction. These are 34 counts that come in at the end of May 30th, and the former president has been fighting it ever since. The judge was going to sentence him prior to the election, then delayed it given the election itself. This is the ruling here. Just reading from the AP, a New York state judge has paused proceedings in the already decided criminal case on charges stemming from the hush money paid to a porn star. The document reads, the judge has been set to decide by today whether or not the conviction could be vacated due to the ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court midsummer. Back in July, on presidential immunity, Trump had also been scheduled to be sentenced on November 26, so this is now a whole new ball of wax. We have the original report and story for you. Check out this video on Fox News where they lay down the hammer, originally posted by none other than our good friend, Benny Johnson. Watch.
New York City, and we've got a ruling based on the Associated Press saying this a moment ago. The judge has delayed a ruling on whether or not to dismiss President-elect Donald Trump's criminal conviction. These are 34 counts that came in at the end of May 30th. And the former president's been fighting it ever since. And the judge is going to sentence him prior to the election, then delayed it given the election itself. And so this is the ruling here. Just reading from the AP, a New York state judge has paused proceedings in the already decided criminal case on charges stemming from the hush money paid to a porn star. All right. The document reads, the judge had been set to decide by today whether or not the conviction could be vacated due to the ruling by the U.S. Supreme Court midsummer back in July on presidential immunity. Trump had also been scheduled to be sentenced on November 26. So this now is a whole...
Wow. A lawfare case really being settled over the fact that Trump is now back in office, or at least he's pretty much there. Obviously, we know that these cases were meant to persecute him. And look, a lot of men aren't willing to stand up to what's going on in the world because, well, let's face it, we have low testosterone levels. And a lot of guys think their testosterone is being drained by aging, bad genetics, or maybe even a lack of exercise. But what if I told you that that's not the case? In fact, the real culprit is something that you're likely eating every day. And here's the shocking part. It's something that you've always been told is healthy. This one food has been scientifically shown to devastate testosterone levels, and most men have no idea. It's not junk food, it's not sugar, it's something way more unexpected, and just eating it a few times a week is enough to wreck your testosterone, drain your energy, and crush your motivation. But here's the good news. Cutting this one thing out of your diet could completely transform the way you feel. Our friends at V-Shred have seen it firsthand with their clients, and guys who stopped eating it are building muscle, burning fat, and feeling more energized than they have in years. It's truly incredible how quickly you can change your life once you know what to avoid. And V-Shred, the team behind cutting-edge fitness and nutrition strategies, has created a video that reveals exactly what this testosterone-killing food is. So if you want to know what it is, head over to sculptnation.com/gateway, sculptnation.com/GATEWAY. Again, that's sculptnation.com/gateway. Links on the screen and in the description to begin losing that weight today and getting those testosterone levels back where they need to be. Now, that being said, time to clean the Senate. The RINOs must go. Here's the list of the senators up for re-election in 2026. Wow, we're almost already 10 years away from the first election of Donald Trump. Maybe I do look older than I thought. That's crazy. Now, the Senate GOP's selection of John Thune as majority leader is yet another slap in the face to conservatives who demand leadership that reflects that will of the people, not the establishment swamp. DC Drano said it best. Crazy MAGA won a massive landslide victory across all branches of government, and our biggest obstacle thus far are Republican senators themselves. These sellouts deserve everything coming their way. Now, Thune's victory last week underscored the grip that neocons and RINOs still hold over the Republican Party. With a secret ballot vote tally of 29 for Thune and 24 for John Cornyn, the party has once again sidelined America First voices, including Rick Scott, who was eliminated in the first round after garnering just 13 votes. This result leaves conservatives asking, who are the faceless senators undermining the movement? Well, after the vote on Wednesday, Amy Kramer posted a list of Republican senators who voted for Rick Scott: Marsha Blackburn, Ted Cruz, Bill Hagerty, Ron Johnson, Mike Lee, Cynthia Lummis, Rand Paul, Marco Rubio, Eric Schmidt, Rick Scott, Cindy Hyde-Smith, Tommy Tuberville, and J.D. Vance. The rest of the Republican senators either voted for their Cornyn or for John Thune, two committed RINOs who have no regard for the will of their voters. Now, Thune's record as anti-Trump as it gets. Who could forget when he called for Donald Trump to drop out of the 2016 race following the Access Hollywood tape, suggesting Mike Pence as the Republican nominee? A move like that would have handed the presidency to Hillary Clinton on a silver platter. And now Thune, a McConnell protege, takes the reins as majority leader. Well, the betrayal doesn't stop there. As many as 30 Republican senators are reportedly planning to vote against Trump's nomination of Matt Gaetz as Attorney General. Gaetz, a fearless defender of the Constitution, has been tapped by Trump to clean up the Department of Justice and its weaponization against conservatives. Now we go down here. Here's the list of 9 senators that are most likely to obstruct Trump's cabinet positions: Lisa Murkowski, Johnny Ernst, Todd Young, Mitch McConnell, Bill Cassidy, Susan Collins, Tom Tillis, John Cornyn, and John Curtis. It's quite amazing, right? The GOP has purged anti-Trump RINOs before. Look no further than a historic defeat of Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney also, it turns out, she is about to die from being a certified bitch. It's true. And I'm not going to apologize for using that language. That woman is a spawn of the devil. Her family has gotten so many people killed, over 1 million people killed. That family is disgusting. And I don't care about their service to our nation. What service? Getting us wrapped up in foreign wars and being a war hawk? Exactly. Additionally, in other news, Megyn Kelly, it turns out, goes scorched earth on hypocrite Joe Scarborough and Mika for meeting with Trump. Check out this clip we have directly of their interaction. Watch.
This will be a consequential presidency. The question is whether it will be constructive. As for us, we also let him know that we will continue to speak truth to power and push back hard when called for.
Oh, please.
As we have with all presidents.
Don't be mistaken. We're not here to defend or normalize Donald Trump. We're here to report on him.
I searched for a way to respond appropriately, and I called on my 10 years as a litigator in addition to my now 20 as a journalist, and I think I found the perfect phrase: go fuck yourselves. Go fuck yourselves, you dishonest jokes of faux journalists. What an absurd farce that was, Glenn. Which one was insincere? He's Hitler, or now we're going to speak truth to power and find a way of speaking to and working with Donald Trump? Which one was a lie?
You know, Megyn, I've thought about this. This is not hyperbole. I've given actual thought to this. I've done rankings. Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski are the most humiliated and pathetic people in all of corporate media. And I realize there's a lot of serious contenders for that crown. So if other people have someone they want to slot number one, I wouldn't necessarily say it's unreasonable. But the thing about them is, unlike other people in the media who have been completely unhinged about Trump being Hitler, Trump being in bed with Putin, the Steele, all of that, those people actually believe it. Like, they're that insane. Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski don't believe in anything other than their own career and their own ratings. Remember, Joe Scarborough was elected in the mid-1990s as part of that Newt Gingrich counter-revolution that was supposed to be this far-right contract with America Then he gets on MSNBC. He continues doing that until MSNBC demanded full-on anti-Trump hysteria. But in the 2015 and 2016 election, you were the one to point this out actually very well. Nobody did more to promote Donald Trump in the Republican primary than those two. They would allow him to call into their show and did it constantly. No other candidate. Why? Because it was the only thing that got ratings. He saved all of their jobs. Then once he got elected, calling him Hitler, calling him all of this, that became the way you get ratings, and then doing that through the campaign. But now that Hitler has returned to power, the first thing they do is tuck their tails and fly to Mar-a-Lago and not even interview him, meet with him privately and personally, and then justify it with this journalistic veneer. It is so repulsive. And the reason for it, as you know, is that MSNBC's ratings haven't just declined precipitously since Kamala lost. They basically have disappeared. There's nobody watching that network anymore for so many reasons. And they obviously have calculated that the one thing that can save their jobs again is reestablishing a relationship with the fascist dictator, Donald Trump, in order to get him back on their show, knowing that's the only thing that people will want to watch. It's so opportunistic and careerist. I have so much more respect for the insane people on that network who at least believe what they're saying.
Me too. Me too. I totally agree with you. I never thought I'd utter these words, but I agree with Keith Olbermann. Keith Olbermann's reaction is my reaction, at least in part. He says, in part, I told you so. These two are Trump collaborators, not a word. Mr. and Mrs. Vichy Quisling, suggesting that they're Nazi sympathizers, say can ever be trusted again. This is the part where I agree with him. Not that those words ever should have been trusted. They are confidence tricksters and grifters. That's exactly right. They're grifters. These two, yes, worked day and night to try to get Trump the nomination back in 15-16. They embarrassed themselves and sacrificed any pretense of journalistic ethics in doing it. It was true bootlicking. I'll just give you a little feel for it in SOT 6.
And he's going to offer you the vice presidential nomination. Will you accept it?
I'll do anything that will get will stop us from 8 more years, like the past 8 years we've had.
Okay. You don't want me to do the one?
All right, I've heard enough of that. Look, she's getting on their case because they deserve their cases to be gotten on. I mean, the hypocrisy of these two is just unmatched. That being said, if you're suffering from daily aches and pains, please listen closely. Top medical experts have unveiled a natural pain reliever that is changing the way Americans fight pain. 100% drug-free Quinolidine. Quinolidine is the only solution in the world that optimizes your body's natural painkillers called endorphins, providing full-body relief without dangerous pills or known side effects. Over 1 million Americans and hundreds of professional athletes, including UFC fighters, have already embraced Quinolidine's pain relief power. Best of all, Quinolidine is legal worldwide, certified drug-free, and does not cause side effects, grogginess, or addiction. After 14 years of clinical research, it has been proven safe and effective, backed by thousands of successful use cases from other Americans just like you. Best of all, today you can try Quinolidine for less than $1 per day. This is your opportunity to finally live pain-free. Click the link below to try the only Quinolidine product in the world risk-free for a full 90 days. This private link and special discount expire at midnight tonight. Go to trycono.com/gateway, trycono.com/gateway. That's experiencing daily pain relief with Quinolidine at trycono.com/gateway. In other news, Priceless, the DNC fires loyal staffers with 1 day's notice, no severance. Staff union erupts in outrage. Check this out. The Democratic National Committee, the party that claims to champion workers' rights, has left its own staff out in the cold. Permanent staffers were given a single day's notice before being unceremoniously terminated without severance. The DNC staff union took to X to air their grievances, stating, 1 day's notice, no severance. The DNC fights for workers, just not their own, as typical as we'd expect. Now, additionally, the irony is so thick, you could cut it with a knife. This is the same party that campaigns on workers' rights, union support, and economic justice. Yet when it comes to their own rules, they apparently do not apply. According to the union's statement, this isn't your run-of-the-mill post-election staff reduction. These were permanent staffers who had assurances that their roles were secure post-election. But as of Wednesday, these commitments seem to be worth about as much as a campaign promise. By Friday, these staffers were out of the street with no severance in hand, despite the DNC enjoying a period of record-breaking fundraising. The DNC's chair, James Harrison, and executive director, Sam Cornell, have reportedly dodged any face-to-face meetings with their now former employees. One union member wrote that as a union member and a DNC member, I'm pretty appalled by the treatment of staff. Layoffs with a day's notice and no severance? This isn't how we uphold our values. Respect for our labor must begin at home, and we must staff so much better. We owe them that. Look, I don't know about you, but as a Democrat, I wouldn't be so surprised that I'm treated one way, then they say something different on the stage, and then when it comes down to the, direct interactions, they suddenly are, leaving me in the gutter. I mean, this is sort of well understood. We get that this is the kind of stuff that happens. So I just wouldn't be surprised. Now, in a nice mention, I wanted to say this. Elon Musk and Trump legal advisor allegedly have major blowup at Mar-a-Lago during dinner, including accusations of leaking details to the press. Listen to this. The Gateway Pundit has reported several times now Trump transition team insiders leaking information to the press, particularly on Attorney General nominee Matt Gaetz and Defense Secretary Peter Hegseth. Now, Hegseth has been the victim of several bogus and presumptive claims to derail his nomination, but on Thursday, Vanity Fair published a hit piece on Pete, an alleged affair he had on a woman in 2017. The information alleged came from a transition team insider, and another leak was published by MSNBC and the Washington Post on Sunday. According to a woman, Hegseth paid a woman hush money after she accused him of sexual assault. This was leaked to the media over the weekend. Now, these leaked information from the transition team could be anybody, but on Monday, the Daily Mail and Axios reported on a blowup at Mar-a-Lago between Elon Musk and Boris Epshteyn, if that's how you say it. According to reports, Elon Musk accused Boris of leaking information to the press. This blowup was also leaked to the liberal press. This is all we know at this time. If you like stories like this, don't forget to like and comment this video. We want to hear your feedback. It's so important. And if you'd like to support the Gateway Pundit, you can also sign up for our mug club. You can get this hefty mug. It's of good material. This is something you want to drink every day. It's a daily drinker. It's not screen printed, or I don't even know what we'd call it, but it's not like lasered on. This is like actually etched into the glass. It's got the weight. It's got a nice handle that fits. I'm like 6'2", so it has a nice weighty handle. And it's great for morning tea, coffee, or whatever it is you want. And you can join the club and grab a mug and join the fun. Sip your tea next time with me tomorrow on the Gateway Pundits Week in Review. Have a great rest of the week, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.